I had just finished streaming on Friday or Thursday, whenever it happened, night. And Samara had already went to bed. So then I was just checking around the place and I was making sure all the doors were locked, you know, as I do. And I noticed that outside we had left a door open. It was outside. So I was like, okay, I gotta go lock it, right? So I put on my shoes, I grabbed the key. I don't know, I always, even though it's not far away, like I always lock the door behind me, just, you know, just in case. And so I locked the door, and then I go ahead and I, hold up. So I lock the door, and I go ahead and go to the outside, and there's like a welcome mat thing, okay? We're new to this place, but I thought it was just flat, right? But the welcome mat was actually elevated on like its own step, and then it's a step out, okay? So then when I stepped, I was walking as if the floor was flat. It was actually one more level down. So I step off of it as if I'm walking, and I just land on my ankle because there's like this much, you know, this much space. So I land on my ankle, and my ankle goes like, say this is my foot and this is my ankle. I looked at my ankle and it was completely sideways. Like I never had seen that before. It was completely sideways. I heard like a noise and just the sheer and utter amount of pain. I like threw the keys out of my hands, my phone flew, and I was in utter pain. Like I broke my foot, so like it was a lot of pain. So I'm like, like I'm grabbing my foot. I'm like, oh my, I'm looking at him like, it's broken, right? And then I look at the door. I try to get back in the door. It's locked. Then I look, and the keys are down there. Like they flew down the path a little bit. So I'm crawling on my hands with my broken foot. I grab the keys and I crawl back up, and I'm like leaning, trying to get open. I called Samara too, and she didn't pick up, and then I called her again and she answered, but then she hung up right away. I was like, oh shoot, like this is bad. I need to go to like hospital or something. So I finally get the door open. I push it open, and I'm just on the ground holding my leg. I'm like, Samara! And then I hear her just running down the stairs, and she's like, what happened? I'm like, I broke my foot. And I was just like on the floor for like 15 minutes just holding my foot. And like the first thing I asked Samara was like, can I get water? Like I'm really thirsty. And like you could look at my foot, it was like already just swollen. It was just swollen. And she was terrified because she's like, what the heck? Like, why is he yelling for me? Like, I've never done this before. She thought it was like, you know, I mean, this is probably the worst, like one of the worst things that could happen, right? But yeah, she's like, oh shoot. So then we figured it out, and then we looked it up, and we're like, do we go to a hospital? Do we wait? And like, I was out of commission. Like I could not walk at all. I cannot put any pressure on my foot at all. Any pressure on my foot, like I can't. I right now I can't even like step on my foot. Even if you forced me to, I would just like collapse.